And welcome to Kentucky Brew Reviews. I'm Special K.
I'm Steel Reserve.
I'm Radar.
And I'm Fuzzy.
Tonight we're going to be doing another video game talk. We're going to be talking about our favorite consoles of all time and our favorite game series for genres.
Yeah, that works. We can do with that.
We're going all time. This is completely. This isn't scripted or anything. We're just kind of going off of sitting here and drinking.
You think someone here has enough time and energy to make a script?
No. Obviously, we're gonna be drinking beer. Steel, what do you got?
I've got a Palm Breeze that's along with Fuzzy over there.
And me and Radar here got Yingling Lights.
Courtesy of Special K.
All right, so let's go and get started. We're gonna start with Steel. What is your favorite video game console of all time?
Oh, you know what? All time. That's a toughie. Yeah.
It is.
It is a tough one.
Toffee.
It's a toffee. It's a toffee.
I'm not familiar with the brand.
I really like Toffee too. That's a great game.
Take a pass and come back to me.
Alrighty then, Fuzzy.
Hands down, favorite console, Nintendo GameCube. For many, many reasons. Many games are these reasons, but Wind Waker, arguably, well, my favorite Zelda game ever. We'll talk about that one later. Metroid Prime, one of the best fucking Metroid games ever.
Yes.
But
You're making some very powerful arguments right
Fire Emblem Path of Radiance.
I thought that was Wii.
Oh wait, no, GameCube originally. I think.
Okay.
There was one for the GameCube and there was one for the Wii. The Radiant Dawn was for the GameCube.
Gotcha.
I know Fire Emblem is my thing. So continue.
Oh man, I still just have fond memories of the splash screen of just the box rolling around and making the G. So many good memories.
GameCube was a great console.
Well, and I think that the GameCube really marked when I found out I was really, really into gaming. Like, I still had Nintendo, Sega, and Super Nintendo growing up, but I feel like right when the GameCube came out was what solidified everything to me. And what solidified me as just a Nintendo fanboy.
You know what? I gotta agree with Fuzzy on this. GameCube. That's really what I played during high school. I had a PlayStation 2 and an Xbox, but the GameCube was the constant, like back in my sophomore year of high school, like near the end of the year, orchestra, it's our last class of the day, and at the end of the year we were done with all the stuff we were doing, so we'd bring in a GameCube and Mario Kart Double Dash.
Oh yeah,
and
one
I had
the best of the Mario Kart games.
It's a great game.
Oh yes, I love Double Dash.
And let me interject here a bit. Still reserved. I think that's why the GameCube is my favorite, if all time, if not of that generation, because at the time it had the most exclusives that kept me coming back.
Mm-hmm. Yep, like Resident Evil 4.
The Resident Evil remake.
Yeah.
Tales of Symphonia.
Tales of Symphonia, yes.
But no, we'd play Double Dash, and I'd sit across the room because I'd bring in my Wavebird, which is another thing. The Wavebird, Nintendo was the first, company out with, the wireless controller down pat. Like they knew what they were doing.
The first good quality one, because Nintendo had.
There were so many third party wireless controllers, but the Wavebird was
like I'd be across the room and still winning, in those games.
And we'll talk about controllers later. But what do you think, Radar? What's your favorite console?
I'm stuck. The first one that I actually bought myself, like, my parents wouldn't buy me a console, so I had to go and buy my own. And I never actually got around to saving up money. But the first one that I actually owned was the Xbox. Like, the first Xbox. The one that was black and had a big X on the top of it. And
it had an X and it was in the box.
Yeah. Now it's really difficult to say that my Xbox is the first console, because all the Xboxes are really easy to confuse. You say you've got an Xbox and people are like, oh, You have an Xbox 360. No, I had the first Xbox.
No.
Oh, so you mean the Xbox One? No.
No, those people are stupid because if you say you got an Xbox, I think Xbox. You say 360, you got a 360.
That's my thing.
And if you say I got an Xbone, you got the Xbox One.
I still think a lot of they need to change their names since the Wii was a terrible name. The Wii U is a terrible name. The Xbox One is a terrible name. I'm sorry.
It's a horrible idea.
Yeah, Sony's names aren't great, but at least they're distinguishable from their last gen console.
Even Xbox 360 wasn't a fantastic name yet.
But it was still distinguishable from the original Xbox.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you just say 360, people know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
PlayStation, you can go PlayStation, PS2, PS3, PS4.
But the game that I played the most on Xbox was probably Morrowind. I logged probably hundreds of hours on Morrowind and never actually completed the main quest. But on the other hand, my first computer had Doom 95. It had the Ultimate Doom, and then I got Doom 2 and then Doom CE. And those are all amazing games. So I feel like I have to say computer, just because those are my favorite 3 games that I've spent.
95 machines, right?
Most. No, it was a 98 machine.
Oh, yeah.
You still had to know how to run DOS to be able to play the games.
I was always partial to Windows 3.1.
I had a 98 machine. I was highbrow at the time.
All right.
Living the high life.
So, what about you, Special K?
I had a Nintendo, I had Atari, Nintendo growing up that were my father's, and I played them. And then, I had NES and Super NES and Sega, and they got destroyed in a fire. But I always had my Game Boy. It was always a big one. But even how special the Game Boy was to me, I'm still going to have to go with PlayStation 1. Because that's the game system that really got me into RPGs.
Beige monstrosity.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it wasn't beige, it was gray. But
Yeah.
They had a PlayStation.
Great. Never mind.
PSX, which
It
was gray.
beige if you set it in the sun too long, but
One of my friends' house was beige because it was old as balls.
yeah.
But
that would happen.
Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, Vagrant Story, Legend of Dragoon, all those games were, got me into RPGs. I remember when I first played, Final Fantasy game. It was Final Fantasy 9 was the first one I seriously played. I had played the other ones, but actually I had the game. We couldn't afford games. I rented them. My buddy loaned me a disc, and I played 9, and it was just...
See, Duke Nukem 3D got me into RPGs.
I see what you did there.
So, all right. So,
But now, video game series. That was the second part of this talk. What's your favorite, Fuzzy?
well, we'll go all time because we're running this one a little long.
Yeah. Oh man, this is a tough one.
It is a tough question.
I have so many fond memories. So many fond memories of so many different series, and if I have to chalk it up to one, it has to be the one that really got me into gaming, and that was Legend of Zelda. I mean, it's even from the very first one to the ones that they're coming out now, they still seem to have this magic to them that enchants whoever plays them. It's a very weird way to go about putting it, but I find it's true. I mean,
Yeah.
you're hard pressed to find somebody that's played a Legend of Zelda game and doesn't walk away from having some sort of feeling of enjoyment, I guess. I don't know what I could describe it
Yeah,
as.
no, I get that too.
No,
because I'm not a huge fan of collectathon games, but I really like playing Legend of Zelda games.
And then again, the Legend of Zelda games never... they had a lot of collectibles, but I never felt that they fell into that collectathon structure.
Well, I have a really hard time with it because my girlfriend will just freeze up and play a game for 20 hours so that she can get this one thing that she hasn't got. She'll 100% a game. It may take her 4 years, but she will 100% a game. Tirelessly search for that one egg.
That's some dedication.
That was in a different game though.
What about you, Radar?
My favorite. I already said my favorite one is Doom, but I feel like that's just one really long game.
It's technically a series.
Yeah.
There's plenty of
It's
Doom
technically a series, but it's just if you play through it, it's just one really long game.
Yeah.
And I only really liked the first Halo game. I guess I'm gonna go with Doom. Doom is my favorite game series.
But you still.
Well, I'd like to say let me stop and think and whatnot, but I don't need to because for me it's obvious. Well, for me, I know what it is, and that is the Mass Effect series.
It's a good series.
Oh my god, I love it, And one of the last couple of playthroughs I was going through was playing Mass Effect 2, which, it's pretty much just you're helping your friends with their daddy issues, and then they're gonna be like, you helped me with my daddy issues, I'll gladly die for you. Suicide run, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That really is a very accurate description.
Pretty much how it works.
Thought about that, but yeah, you're right.
And I got near the end, right where you're supposed to have your, romantic part. And I had messed up some certain dialogues and whatnot, and did not romance anybody, and stayed true to my love of the first one. I was just like, I didn't get that trophy.
That happened to me.
I have to play through the third one, so I can play through the second one again, and romance the hell out of Tali.
That's the same thing happened to me in the second one. Not for lack of trying, I just kind of accidentally made wrong selections. And 3 came around, I was like, okay, Liara's back. I guess I'll romance her again.
I did that in the Old Republic too.
Yep. It came back around. Ash was just like, hey, I was like, well, your hair looks better. That's good.
She looked different. She looked mostly different for that game.
Oh yeah.
Not to mention her armor made it look like she had robot arms. It was really weird.
Yeah. But then after I romanced Tali, I was like, yeah, I'm with Tali now. And she's like, I'm okay with that. Like, damn right you are. Or you'll stay in this hospital bed.
I was always hoping to romance Garrus.
One of these times.
The giant salamander in armor?
I would say salamander.
The best sniper in the whole galaxy, you mean?
And honestly,
I guess you can call him that.
All right, guys, we're getting off subject. Me and Fuzzy will have a Mass Effect talk video later.
We'll have more conversation about video games, but we're trying to wrap this one up. It's hard for me because I mentioned before I was a big Final Fantasy fan. Pokemon's also a big deal to me too.
Yeah.
It's no Mass Effect though.
But Mass Effect's
You shut your pretty little mouth.
Is a new series. I'm not that big of a Mass Effect fan.
No, you're fine.
The Tales Up series is probably one of my favorites.
It's a very broad series.
Yeah, it's kind of like Final Fantasy. There's a bunch of different games, but none of them necessarily intertwine per se.
Except the ones that have obvious sequels, but yeah.
Yeah, well, there's only Tales of Symphonia has a sequel, and then Tales of Zillia has a sequel. Yeah. But majority of the games don't have sequels. They started on the PlayStation 1.
I want to say the beta started on the Super Nintendo.
You might be right on that one. Actually, you are right. Now that I think of I've never played the Super Nintendo one.
It's one of those that you can only find it. You might be able to find a translated version, but it's very rare.
Yeah, they're great games. They have great storylines. The combat system is, if you play an older one, it's a little rough nowadays, but the more modern combat systems for the newer games are a lot better. But that's all we got for this episode. It was getting a little long. If you guys want to see us talk about video games or anything else.
Random things,
because we're just going to drink and talk anyway. We might as well film it.
Yeah.
You guys can leave a comment down below, and like I said, if you want to see something, leave it down below. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. I'm Special K.
I'm Still Reserve.
I'm Radar.
And I'm Fuzzy.
Thanks for watching.